We are back with former RNC chairman and MSNBC analyst Michael Steele. Michael, I just walked through some of the stuff here that I think everybody knows, because I think the battle lines on voting are pretty clear. And then the political intrigue about Biden facing a party and a grassroots here that really wants to go hard. Your thoughts on all of this, what we're going to see in the Senate tomorrow?
Well, what you're going to see, I think, is the first part of a political ballet that the Democrats are going to try to perform, if you will. They'll put this vote up. I think they have an idea of where it's going to go. I think all of us, to your audiences and the country, we understand one thing that's true. There is no political incentive for Republicans to agree to anything, whether it is on voting or anything else. And specifically in this space, given what's happening at the state level, to hear McConnell and others scream that this is an affront to the Constitution, is it a grab for power? What the hell do you think state legislatures are doing around the country? You saw the election unfold in these various states. They didn't like the outcome. They didn't like the fact that the Democrats were able to put together a coalition and win in their states like Georgia. So what do they want to do? They want to grab the power back and rewrite the rules. So, talk to the political hand about that. We know you're not serious. So what the Democrats now have to figure out is, in the first part of this ballet, where we put it all on the table, we show you the grand stage, right? Everything. Do they now come back and say, okay, Mitch, you don't like the whole package? Here is Bill sub 1 on that. Carve it out, take out the various sections of the voting bill and put that in front of Republicans and say, all right, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Where do you draw the line on what you will support in addressing the voting problems that we have in the country that you claim we have, number one, and number two, how we better enfranchise the American people, to access the ballot box and incentivize them to do it. That, I think, is going to be an interesting opportunity. Whether or not Democrats are able to take advantage of it in this first round, we'll see. I think you don't stop at just putting the voting bill, whether it's the John Lewis bill or Senate Bill 1 or whatever, HR 1, whatever it is. Put the initial thing out there and then break it into smaller bite-sized chunks and watch the Republicans choke on it.
Shout out to the talk to the hand reference, first of all. I think your approach to the legislative strategy is very interesting, because it is a question of where people stand. And then the racial component is so glaring, although there's certainly plenty of Republican officials who are on record of just wanting to make it hard to vote and cheat for partisan reasons. There's also the racial overlay coming amidst this symbolic breakthrough on Juneteenth, which brings us to some of the way that was playing out in the country, because you do have some Republicans who are trying to have it both ways, or they still don't want to get, they don't want to be outed as too publicly, obviously against certain racial justice initiatives, but we see how they vote. So this was a little moment people may not have seen yet from very right-wing Senator Ron Johnson. Take a look.
I support celebrating the emancipation of the slaves. I just didn't really understand why the only way to do that is to give 2 million federal health care workers, cost $600 million a year, a day off, but apparently the rest of Congress wants to do that, so I won't stand in the way.
We put that together for the context, because he was sort of against it, but then said okay, and was then roundly booed when he showed up. I'm curious what you think, especially given your history in the Republican Party and trying to move it on some of these issues, because there are those who look at that and say, well, at least he showed up. But there's a lot more people in the country right now who say, well, we got big problems to fix, and that means doing the work.
Yeah, we do have big problems to fix, and it requires the work. But can we just be honest? They don't want to do the work. They don't even want to have the debate. I mean, I could see if, Ron Johnson's like, you know what? I'm going to support SR1, put it on the floor, because I want to debate what's in this bill. And I want to let the American people know why I think X, Y, Z. Or I want to, in the debate about Juneteenth or anything else, I want to tell you why I think it's a waste of public funds to give federal employees another holiday off. Okay, let's have the debate. But you don't want to do that, because there is no upside for you, because then, as my mama say, your ass is exposed, right? You're exposed at that point. What do you do? What do you do when you're exposed politically to the truth? And so that's what the Ron Johnsons in the world are at right now. That's where they are. They want to have the debate. That does not help them. It goes back to the first point. There is no incentive to have the debate. It is much easier to send out the Marjorie Taylor Greens and have them go out and scream and yell and grift and get the residual benefit from that than it is to actually engage in a conscientious debate with your political opponents, not enemies, your political opponents who may have a different political, philosophical, or ideological perspective on policy. That's what we used to do. But these guys don't want to do that. And, and the race issue really trips them up because that's just all kinds of, gnarly entanglements that they don't want to have to discuss. That's why they're trying to use the critical race theory as a sledgehammer, and they're hitting themselves in the head with a 40-year-old policy or, not policy, but idea discussion that occurs at the college level. They're talking about, my grade school students, that shows how ignorant they are about basic stuff.
Yeah.
And instead of learning, they just retrench and react.
All fair points, which is why I wanted to check in with you on this, and it's going to be the big story tomorrow as well. Good to have you on More Than One Topic, Michael. Appreciate it.
Always, my friend.